Welcome to this podcast episode brought to you by AGS Agriculture Global Solutions, your partner for better oil palm farming. Today, we are exploring the hidden underground world of your palm trees to understand how their root systems are the ultimate survival tool against severe dry seasons and why this matters for your yield. Register now on cropdrive.ai. Use the tool completely free of charge, no hidden fees, no conditions. CropDrive helps you improve your oil palm growing skills. Subscribe to our channel so you do not miss key oil palm best practice episodes. So today's deep dive it's based on this really fascinating stack of research.
Yeah.
And primarily this pivotal 2021 study out of the University of Bengkulu in Indonesia,
Right.
where they mapped out the underground architecture of mature palms.
Yes.
And I mean, every farmer out there knows that absolute dread of a severe dry season.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, that's
Like,
good.
walk the plantation and the soil is it's cracking into dust, right?
Mm-hmm.
The sky is totally clear and you just know your yield is under threat.
Absolutely. And we usually look upright. Like, we look up at the canopy to check the health of the tree, but the research we are digging into today, it completely flips that perspective.
It really does.
Because the palm tree actually has this massive built-in defense mechanism right under our boots.
Yeah, I kind of view the palm tree like a self-sufficient city, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Like when we walk the rows, we only see the skyscrapers above ground.
Right, the trunk and the leaves.
Yeah, the massive fronds, the fruit bunches.
Mm-hmm.
But the system that's actively keeping that city alive during a crushing drought, it's this highly complex underground water infrastructure.
Exactly. It is this active dynamic system that the tree uses to literally manipulate its own soil environment.
It's wild.
It is, and we spend our days assessing the visible health of the tree, and we totally miss the fact that its true survival engine is completely hidden from us.
Right. So to understand the mechanics of this underground infrastructure,
Right.
we have to look closely at how those scientists at the University of Bengkulu mapped it out.
Yeah, in 2021.
Right. And they didn't just look at young, vulnerable saplings.
No, they specifically targeted 14-year-old mature palms.
Which is prime age.
Exactly. These are trees right in their prime, where a farmer productivity is meant to be, stable and predictable.
Right.
And the researchers wanted to map the entire root architecture to see exactly how these mature trees respond to soil humidity.
Okay.
And they used two very different approaches to get the full picture, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, I was reading through their methodology, and their first approach was a destructive method.
Yes.
Which is just a really clinical way of saying they literally dug up the entire root system of a 14-year-old tree.
Just completely excavated, yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, the sheer amount of earth they had to move is staggering.
Right, because you can't just...
You can't just use a backhoe.
Right, exactly.
Like, you can't rip it out because that would snap all the roots and just ruin the data.
You'd lose all the fine details.
Yeah, so they had to painstakingly wash away tons of soil with water.
Yeah.
To reveal the physical structure of the roots completely intact.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the labor involved in that physical excavation is just immense.
Yeah.
But, it provides an irrefutable map of the root layout.
Right. You can actually see it.
You can see it, but a physical map only shows you where the roots are.
Right.
It doesn't tell you what they are actually doing.
I see.
So that is why they paired the excavation with non-destructive methods.
What do they do for that?
So they place these advanced sensor circuits directly into the soil profile around living trees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these sensors continuously measure electrical resistance in the ground, which translates to real-time data on soil humidity.
That's brilliant.
It is so they could watch digitally how the roots interact with moisture during heavy rains and how they pull water during severe dry periods.
So they have the physical map from the digging and the digital map from the sensors.
Exactly.
And the scale of what those maps uncovered is just wild.
It's massive.
Like, the researchers found that these roots can grow vertically downward anywhere from 1.5 to 5 meters deep.
Just straight down.
It's like a massive underground pillar.
Mm-hmm.
And the horizontal spread, it's even wider.
Oh, yeah, way wider.
The roots stretch out horizontally for over 6 meters away from the base of the trunk in every single direction.
It's a huge radius.
Which means if you are standing between two mature palms, walking the rows,
Yeah.
you're standing directly on top of this intersecting underground highway of roots.
You are right on top of it.
But looking at the data, I actually ran into a paradox that I want to kind of push back on a little bit.
Okay, lay it on me.
So if the roots are diving 5 meters deep into the earth,
Right.
why do the scientists conclude that the single most critical area for the tree's survival is just the top 40 centimeters of soil.
Ah, that is the million-dollar question.
Right, because you would assume the deepest roots are the ones saving the tree, right, by accessing like deep groundwater.
Right, it makes logical sense, but we have to differentiate between structural support and water gathering.
Okay.
So those roots, diving 5 meters deep, they're the primary roots. Think of them as anchor roots.
Anchor roots, okay.
Yeah, their biological job is structural integrity.
To keep the tree standing.
Exactly. They are the heavy steel beams holding a towering, top-heavy tree in place so it doesn't just topple over during a heavy storm.
Makes sense.
They are thick, they are woody, and physically they are not designed to efficiently absorb large amounts of water.
So they are just structural.
Mostly, yes. The actual water gathers the roots that dictate whether your tree survives a drought and actually produces a good yield.
Yeah.
Those are the fine, hair-like feeder roots.
Ah, okay. The tertiary and quaternary root.
Yes, exactly. And the study clearly mapped their location.
Where are they mostly?
Well, these fine feeder roots are overwhelmingly concentrated right at the surface.
It's just right up top.
Yeah, they sit primarily in that top 0 to 40 centimeters of soil, and they are mostly packed within a 1.5-meter radius directly around the trunk.
So basically just right around the base of the tree.
Yes, and in that specific shallow zone, the tree builds this incredibly dense structure that the researchers actually call a nest mat or a root net.
A nest mat.
Yeah.
That implies it is not just like a few straggly roots wandering around in the dirt.
No, it's a woven, deliberate structure.
It sounds like the tree is essentially engineering its own soil composition.
Yes.
Like it is actively terraforming that 1.5-meter radius.
That is the perfect word for it. The tree actively manipulates that microenvironment to build a self-contained water footprint system.
Wow.
And to understand how a shallow net of roots helps the tree when the rain stops, we have to actually look at the life cycle of the roots themselves.
Okay. How does that work?
Well, the finer a root is, the shorter its lifespan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. These tiny feeder roots are constantly growing, they die off rapidly, and then they are replaced by new roots pushing out from the base.
Okay, so it is like the tree is constantly shedding its skin, but doing it underground.
Yes, exactly. And when millions of those tiny roots die, they don't just disappear, right?
Right.
They decompose right there in the topsoil, turning into rich organic matter.
But wait, organic matter alone doesn't water a tree.
No, it doesn't.
So how does dead root tissue translate into, like, drought survival?
Okay, so it comes down to the physical and chemical changes that happen during that decomposition.
Okay.
When a tiny root dies and rots away, it leaves behind a physical void in the soil.
Like a little tunnel.
Exactly, a microscopic tunnel or a pore. And simultaneously, billions of soil microbes rush in to feed on that rotting organic matter.
This is an active ecosystem.
Very active. And as these microbes consume the dead roots, they excrete these substances like humic acids.
Ah, humic acids. Those act like a natural glue, right?
Exactly.
They bind all those loose soil particles together into small clumps or aggregates,
Right.
which creates even more structural space in the dirt.
Yes, you get it. So the combination of the living root networks, the microscopic tunnels left by the dead roots, and the soil clumps formed by the humic acids,
Yeah.
it physically transforms the dense earth into a literal sponge.
A sponge, okay.
Yeah, so when the heavy rains finally come there, the water doesn't just hit a hard surface and wash away into the drainage ditches.
Which you see all the time on bad soil.
Right. But here, it hits this 40-centimeter deep, highly porous sponge surrounding the trunk, and it is instantly absorbed.
And the sensor data from that Bankulu study verified this mechanism perfectly, didn't it?
It did, absolutely.
Because they mapped the humidity patterns under the canopy,
Yeah.
and they found that this root net naturally controls water availability over time.
Yes.
Like the porous structure captures the rain,
Yeah.
it pulls it underground, and it just locks it in.
It's an underground reservoir.
So even when a severe dry season hits and the surface temperatures skyrocket, the ground directly under the palm remains highly humid.
Right, and that humidity retention is the visual proof of the water footprint system at work. It explains why, like during a harsh dry spell, when the plantation's dirt roads are just turning to absolute dust,
Yeah.
the grass growing directly underneath the canopy of a healthy palm tree remains perfectly green.
Oh, wow, I've seen that.
Right, the grass is just piggybacking on the microclimate the tree engineered.
That is so interesting.
The tree captured the moisture months ago, the dense root mat prevented it from evaporating, and it slowly rations that water to survive the drought.
Basically, the tree builds its own insurance policy pore by pore.
Exactly.
So bringing this back to the daily reality of a smallholder farmer, I mean, yield is everything, right?
Oh, yeah. It's the bottom line.
And a prolonged dry season can decimate production.
Completely.
But if the tree is already building this underground water tank, I mean, the financial implications of that are massive because so many farmers assume they need to invest in expensive high-tech irrigation systems just to survive longer dry periods.
Right. They think they need all this gear. But complex irrigation requires significant capital.
Yeah.
You have constant maintenance, you have fuel costs.
It's expensive.
But the palm tree is already doing the heavy lifting for free.
Yeah.
It has constructed a biological water storage tank over several years.
So the primary task for the farmer isn't to build a new watering system at all.
No.
It's just to ensure they don't accidentally destroy the natural one.
Exactly. You just have to protect it.
Because deliberately destroying this surface root net, I mean, it's like poking holes in your own water tank right before a drought hits.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
It takes years for the tree to weave that porous structure, and a farmer can honestly ruin it in a single season if they aren't careful.
Easily. And this natural system also solves another major headache for farmers, which is compacted hard soil.
Oh yeah, that's a huge issue everywhere.
So many plantations sit on heavy clay or earth that has just been packed down over years of harvesting.
Right.
And you might assume only the massive, thick anchor roots have the strength to penetrate that kind of hard pan.
Well, yeah, because they're the biggest.
Right, but the thick roots actually get blocked by hard soil.
Really?
Yeah, they don't have the fine point needed to wedge into dense clay. They physically cannot push through it.
So what gets through?
The fine lateral feeder roots.
Oh, the little hair-like ones?
Exactly. They are the advance guard.
Yeah.
Because they are hair-thin, they can squeeze into the microscopic cracks in the compacted earth.
Okay.
And as they push in, they grow and then die and decompose. Right? So they introduce organic matter directly into that hard pan.
So they are fixing the soil from the inside.
Yes. They soften the soil chemically through those humic acids we talked about, and they soften it physically by creating new pores.
That's amazing.
They do the brutal work of breaking up the hard soil so the bigger anchor roots can eventually follow and expand the tree's territory.
So the tiny roots are acting like microscopic jackhammers.
Basically, yeah.
But because they are doing this vital work right at the surface, I mean, just 40 centimeters deep, they are incredibly vulnerable to human activity.
That's so vulnerable.
Because we are constantly moving through the plantation, right?
Yeah, walking, driving.
Harvesting, pruning, applying nutrients. Every step we take happens right on top of this active construction zone.
Right, and when those microscopic pores are crushed, the whole system collapses.
Yeah.
Which brings up a really critical issue of what we are driving and dragging through the plantation.
Okay.
The single fastest way to destroy that water sponge is through soil compaction.
Man, I see this constantly. Farmers will run heavy machinery like tractors or loaded harvest wheelbarrows right up to the trunk.
Right up to the base.
Yeah, to collect fresh fruit bunches. They treat the area around the base like it's a loading zone.
And every time a heavy tire or a loaded cart rolls over that 1.5-meter radius around the trunk, the weight physically crushes the topsoil.
It just flattens it out.
Yeah, it compresses all those vital pores that the tree works so hard to create. And when you flatten those tunnels, you suffocate the soil microbes.
Because they have no air.
Exactly. They no longer have access to oxygen.
And without oxygen, the microbes die. The decomposition process stops, and all that humic acid production just halts.
Right.
The sponge literally turns back into a brick.
It does. And the next time it rains, the water simply bounces off that compacted dirt and runs off into a ditch.
The tree gets nothing.
Nothing at all. So treating that 1.5-meter radius as a strictly protected zone is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Farmers must minimize all heavy traffic in that circle.
Keep the wheelbarrows out.
Yes, keep them back.
So if that radius is our protected water tank, and we know organic matter is the fuel that builds the sponge, then our pruning habits must play a massive role here too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I notice a lot of farmers dragging all their pruned fronds and empty fruit bunches far away from the trees.
Yeah, you see that a lot.
Or even burning them to clear space.
Which is terrible.
Because they are essentially throwing away the building blocks the microbes need.
They are completely starving the root net.
Yeah.
Think about it. A 14-year-old tree produces tons of dead frond material and empty fruit bunches per hectare every single year.
It's a lot of mass.
It is a massive free
Yeah.
resource. So instead of burning it or tossing it far away, it should be strategically placed near the root zone.
Though, obviously, we do not want to pile it directly against the trunk.
Right, because that invites rot and pests.
Yeah, we don't want that.
But keeping it within that surrounding area feeds the system.
Okay.
As those fronds and empty bunches break down, they provide an absolute feast for the soil microbes.
Which kicks off the whole cycle again.
Exactly. The microbe populations multiply, the humic acid production spikes, and the soil structure improves dramatically.
It's a positive feedback loop.
It is, and this microbial activity actually stimulates the fine roots to grow faster and thicker.
Wow.
So by managing your organic waste correctly, you actively help the tree build a larger, more efficient water-holding sponge.
But this directly challenges another very common aesthetic practice on plantations.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, many farmers, they want their farm to look perfectly clean and tidy.
Right. The clean farm look.
Yeah, they take a hoe or a scraper and aggressively clear away all the loose soil, all the decomposing leaves and the weeds right near the base of the tree until they hit bare hard earth.
Yeah, and aesthetically it might look neat, but biologically it is a total disaster for drought survival.
Oh, absolutely.
Because when a farmer scrapes away that topsoil, they are literally slicing off the top layer of the fine root net.
They're just chopping it off.
Yeah, they are unweaving the nest mat.
They're removing the sponge entirely.
Yes.
And even worse, they're exposing the remaining underlying soil directly to the harsh baking sun.
Which just bakes it.
Hmm.
Any moisture that was successfully stored in the deeper pores will evaporate rapidly.
Because the protective blanket is just gone.
It's gone. The soil temperatures spike, the remaining fine roots die from the intense heat and lack of moisture, and the tree is left completely defenseless.
Just totally vulnerable.
Yeah. So when a dry spell hits, that clean scraped tree will be the first to suffer severe yield drops.
So really, a slightly messy-looking base,
Yes.
Covered with a natural layer of decomposing fronds and undisturbed topsoil.
Yes.
That is actually the sign of a highly resilient, expertly managed tree.
It really is. A clean scraped base is a fragile tree.
Wow.
It requires a complete mental shift in what a healthy farm actually looks like.
It really does. You have to learn to love the mess a little bit.
Absolutely. And, we've seen today how the oil palm engineers its own soil environment to survive droughts.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if the tree is doing this much invisible work underground to recycle its own dead roots into water-saving sponges.
Right.
What other natural waste in our plantations are we throwing away that the ecosystem is actually begging to use?
Oh, man. That is a great question to leave off on. Remember to visit our AI farming assistant at cropdrive.ai to learn more on how to increase your oil palm yields and incomes. Thanks for listening.